So a fat girl and two CrossFit athletes walk into a cookout. This is a true story, a story time that ends in a question mark. And you two, I am dying to know your answer to my question. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. It is Labor Day 2023. Let's document the date. I just got back from a cookout with the family and it was just fantastic. My family really has my back and it's so nice to be at a cookout and there's all this delicious food there that's actually good for me and not a bunch of garbage. Like, it was crazy wonderful. It was like grass-fed beef that my parents bought at a farm, like literally less than a mile down the road from their place. Street corn salad from corn that they got from the same farm. Fresh snap peas from the farmer's market and cucumbers from the farmer's market. A really nice big salad with like a balsamic vinaigrette. It was just like, it was lovely. And then we had some apple crisp for dessert that was made with apples picked off of my mom and dad's tree in the backyard. It was like freaking Norman Rockwell photo type dinner. You know, it was so like all American, but it was great because like there wasn't anything there that tempted me to binge or to go off plan and my mom, even when she was serving up the apple crisp, she's like, is this okay? And I was like, oh yeah, just a small piece and half a scoop of ice cream and I'm good. And I was, like, if I'd had any more than that, I didn't need any more than that. So it was wonderful to be able to enjoy all that and not feel guilty and to know that my family has my back. So that's got me thinking of a time when I was at a different cookout with family. And the weirdest thing happened that I still to this day am scratching my head about. So I thought, you know what? I'm gonna ask you guys about this. So get ready. So it was the 4th of July. I was fat. Surprise, surprise, I've been fat for like 20 years. Yo-yoing like a motherfucker, you know, lose 20, gain 30, lose 30, gain 40, lose 20, gain 50. You know the drill. If you know, you know. At this point, I think I was about, from what I remember, I was about 15 pounds less than I am right now. Like, I would give anything to be that weight right now. I was definitely on an intentional weight loss journey at the time. I was kind of coming out of the fat acceptance, body positivity. I don't even like to call it body positivity because it's been so hijacked and it's like sacrilege at this point. You know, it's so, I don't consider it body positivity. Yeah, I was kind of in and out of that. I knew that I did not feel right in my body, that I felt unhealthy, and that I wanted to do better for myself. So I was researching the paleo diet at the time, and I think I'd even started eating paleo at the time. I was definitely exercising a lot at the time. But you know, I was a weekend self-saboteur. I would eat well during the week and then allow myself to binge on weekends. So I would always, for all the progress I would make during the week, I would sabotage on the weekends because I probably was over restricting or just, I don't know. I wasn't looking at my changes as a lifestyle. I was looking at it as a diet, something with a finish line. This doesn't have a finish line. This is a circle. This is a spiral. This is a inward spiral to the center of me finding out what truly feeds me and nourishes me and makes me the healthiest person I can be. But at the time, it was a start and finish line. So of course, I was doomed to fail. Anyway, so my cousin and her husband, although they're divorced now, but they hosted a family reunion at their house, and they were both CrossFit athletes. As a matter of fact, she now owns her own gym. So they were both really into it. This was when they were first getting into CrossFit, and they were both on the paleo diet. And I remember thinking to myself, oh, that's cool because that's the way I want to eat. So this cookout likely isn't going to be super hard for me because it's highly likely they're going to have a lot of nutritious choices for me, and that's going to be great. Anyway, so I'm hanging out with my mom and the husband of my cousin, and we were talking about like the paleo diet. And I had done a lot of research on it because that's what I do before I decide I'm going to follow a food plan. I want to know what it's about. And we're just going on about the paleo diet. I'm talking about stuff I learned and asking him questions, and because I felt like he was more of the expert on it. So we get done talking, and it's dinner time, and we're all sitting around. Actually, I think it was after dinner. We're just all sitting around shooting the breeze and getting caught up with each other. And my two CrossFit cousins, the husband and wife who hosted the party, proceeded to light up cigarettes and start smoking. And it wasn't just like one cigarette. You know, some people do that. Like they quit smoking, but when the occasion is right, like if they're out at the bar or if they're at an event where they're really stressed, they'll smoke a cigarette. So I just thought to myself, okay, well, they used to smoke. Maybe this family reunion was too stressful. They're kicking back with a cigarette. You know, I get it. But they kept smoking and smoking and smoking, like chain smoking the whole night, one after another after another. I was kind of like, what the hell? So, but this is the weirdest thing about it. My mom told me later that the guy that we were hanging out with at the grill said to my mom, wow, Jaye really knows a lot about like the paleo diet and about like nutrition in general. And my mom was like, yeah, she's very smart about that. She's been researching it. And he said, well, why is she so obese then if she knows so much about nutrition? And when my mom has said that to me, like that devastated me. And of course, you know, being in the HAES movement, the healthy at every size, body positivity, fat acceptance movement, immediately I'm like, you know, thinking, well, he's fat phobic. And that's like, you know, I feel so marginalized. No, I'm just kidding. Like, you know, I was like, holy crap, what a shitty thing for my mom to share with me. But at the same time, he was not wrong. And now that I'm completely out of the fat acceptance movement, kind of glad my mom told me, because knowing how my family perceived me, it didn't feel good, but they were fucking worried about me. And if I seemed smart up here, why was I living it? It was kind of like she's all talk but no walk, you know? Now that I have the maturity and the self-actualization to, self-awareness is the word I'm looking for, self-awareness to understand the question, it doesn't seem so cruel to me. And I'm glad my mom told me, because it wasn't shitty, he was right. And it was kind of their way of saying, yeah, like if you're that book smart, why aren't you physically really doing something about it?
She doesn't understand nutrition like I do.
Well, none of us knew that really the answer to my problems was to find the right doctor and get on the right brain meds. I needed to be on the right mental health medication. And now that I'm on the right mental health medication, my relationship with food has done a complete 360. Like I don't know who this person is. Actually, I do know who this person is. This is the person I was before I got really fat and didn't understand how to manage my emotions without food being in the picture, without binging and restricting and going through this vicious fucking cycle of like violence against myself, you know? So what blew my mind was that he was judging me for being obese, or, you know, calling me out behind my back for being obese. But he's sitting there chain smoking all night, and her too. And so my question for you, YouTube, subscribers or non-subscribers, whoever is here to watch this video, in that situation, who's got a better chance? Like, who is healthier? The fat girl who's really trying to eat better and exercising and doing what she can, but is still fat at the moment, or the two CrossFit athletes that smoke heavily and regularly? Who's healthier? Who's going to win in that smackdown? I'm just really curious what you think, because to be honest, I'm not fucking sure. I'm thinking probably the CrossFit athletes, because, I mean, smoking's terrible for you, but at least they're a healthy weight and they exercise and they eat healthy, eat clean. Yeah, eat clean, but smoke cigarettes. I don't fucking know. It was a bizarro world. It was just fucking weird to me. Talk about cognitive dissonance. So, I don't know. What do you think? That's my story time, my cookout story time on Labor Day. I don't know if I'll have this edited and uploaded on Labor Day. It's kind of late in the afternoon. I don't know. Whenever you do see this, I am just really curious. I would love for you to weigh in the comments below. Thank you for stopping by and listening to my story. And I really look forward to seeing what you think. That's about it. Have a great day. Bye.
I do want you guys to know that I'm the queen of like moderation. I lost 89 pounds before,